Okay. My talk will be about pipelines. I think everyone design or maintain CI pipelines. That's nothing new. We will talk about a solution that helps you with pipelines that's called Dagger. Sorry, I get some echo here. Okay. Yeah, let's fix it. I get echo from Zoom. That wasn't so. What is Dagger? Dagger is project that is founded or co-founded with Solomon Hykes. If you know him, he is founder of Docker. And other co-founders are Andrew Luzani and Samuel Alba. And they created Dagger, I think 2 years ago or something like that. And Dagger is programmable CI/CD engine that runs your pipelines. It's not new CI. It's just way how you can use it is as some pipelines as code. This term you can know from Tecton pipelines if you know them, and they emphasize using a Dagger engine with your local development CIs and other things. I will try what is in Dagger. Dagger is based on Open Container Initiative on OCI standards and using Docker, specifically a BuildKit library, and Qlang as configuration language for setting how that the pipelines looks like. They introduce the Qlang version exists more than 1 year, and that was in some alpha beta testing. Not everyone have access to that. And this year, usually in autumn, that's I think 2 months, they introduce SDKs. First was Go, later Python, and I think Node.js was last week. That they already have 3 different languages supported. We will speak about Go version SDK. How Dagger is different than CI, Github Action, GitLab, Circle CI. It's important that Dagger is not replacing your CI. It's for that if you write your pipelines in Dagger, you don't need to rewrite them. Yeah, that's quite important. For example, from my API times, I remember that we have something in Travis, in Circle CI. After that, we migrate to Worker. After Worker, we migrate to TeamCity. And after TeamCity, we migrate to internal Oracle build service. And you have to have the same pipelines rewrite again. And that was super painful. It's take always 1 year for every repository, and wasn't a nice experience. And Dagger is exactly for that. You can make it one time your definitions. Dagger run on all major CIs. Only requirement is Docker, and that's reduce any CI log in that you can have. And that's important, I think, for future, that CIs can change, that can be requirements. If you are a startup, you can be acquired as my experience from API, and you have some constraints from your owner, and this help you with that solution. And another big advantage is that Dagger runs on your machine in the same way how run in CI. It's very easy to debug. And if you don't have problem on your machine, you don't have on CI. It's running on the same things. And that's helping with debugging. That is quite painful, special in many CIs just running by YAMLs. Yeah. And how that works. The program SDK as works is your program. It's written in your language of your choice. we will speak about Go. That's calling a client, that's Dagger engine, and that Dagger engine using some API request and via protocol, he get API request, make some graph that calculate how your pipeline will be done, and using OCI container runtime to execute all that things. It's usually as you run any Docker base building. If you build images in Kubernetes or something that. Main benefits is that instant local testing. It's very easy to use it. You have portability, the local version run on CI, vice versa. The superior caching, every part of that process is cached by the Docker layers and works very good. You have cross-language instrumentation. You have compatibility with the Docker ecosystem, and all that works together with your requirements that you can have. And it's main things that I appreciate, that almost all that CI system, GitHub Action, Circle CI, Travis CI, using YAML, and YAML is super complicated. We have that YAML spec have 23,000 words in specification. It's 3,000 more than XML. That is horrible. You have 23 ways how write multi-line string there. And it's a data serialization language. It's not configuration language. It's not secure by default. You find a CVE for YAML every month, I think, or every second library have some issues. There is two great pages called No YAML, and YAML probably is not great after all. I recommend everyone who likes YAML to read it. Why QLang and not YAML? QLang is configuration language. It's very similar in many constraints as Go. It's usually derived from BoardConf. That was language in Google for configuration of Borg. That's Borg is father of Kubernetes, and Borg monitoring is father of Prometheus, and BoardConf is father of QLang. It's very behind that. The language have some set of features. They have standard library, they have string interpolation, you have templating there, you have static type checking, and you have package systems. All what you need for configurations. And you can write in QLang, but you can easily generate YAMLs or JSONs as you need it, or TOMLs or anything else. Back to Dagger Go SDK. It's one big dependency is Moby Build Kit. If you are familiar with Docker libraries, there are a few of them. This using Build Kit, it's usually one previous project that Solomon Hikes working on that, and they're using that. Current version is 0.4. It's still technical preview. All that SDKs. It's not production ready product, but still it's for pipelines. It's not something that are super reliable or need that works or not works. There is very good started documentation. And, I have in reference links to videos about that and some other examples. I will go with some simple example that I compare GitHub Actions and Dagger implementation. I have Go OS open source project. It's very simple, and I need for them that I need test in last 3 versions of Go, and I can test on ARM and AMD, and it's CLI that I need that I have cross compilation across all major operation systems. How can I do it in GitHub Actions? It's very easy to test different versions, but if you want made cross-time compilation, that will be issue, and you need to use, for example, Go releaser or some tool that supports directly, and the architectures will be biggest issue, that you need to use Docker in Docker or something specific that you get that virtualization to get test the architecture. But with Dagger is much more simplest. You write directly in Go. You can just make for or cycle over Go version, OS, and architecture. They automatically using all possible build kit association. It's not that every architecture is support, but it's a list of them. What is standard support in Go, and you can implement. I have link there. I share a presentation with you, and there is link to that example. Full example. It's quite longer, but not too much. But there is very simple things. There is if you have more bigger repo, you have multiple projects there, or combine. For example, I have this example here. There you can check it. It's some Node.js and Go combination project that you need that, and there is a link to my pull request that I implemented that you can see that I add 3 Go files, and that's all, and works. And a link to demo will be in the end, and I will share presentation after that. There is all that links that will be in that, and yeah, I recommend follow the Dagger blog on news. I think it's great project and will be super important in future, and can help many people to make their pipelines much more robust and easy to maintain, especially for developers. Questions? No questions? There is question.
I'll give you mic.
Yeah.
A sec.
Hi. So as far as I understood, does it work only with Docker or?
Yeah. You need Docker, Docker engine, or anything that running build kit. Yeah.
Okay. So if you need in your CI to build the image from Docker file, you need to implement Docker in Docker.
Yeah, that will works for you. Yeah, or some CI can support it. That you can. Many people don't use this for images. They use Kaneko or something else that directly can build it. And I think with build kit you can do it without Docker in Docker too. There was great talk on DevOps meetup last week about that. It was all that possibilities, what you can use it for building images. Yeah, and there is some that the library from Dagger have some functions. Not all is supported that you need, but you have Go code. Yeah, you can write anything what you want. You can customize as you need it.
Thank you.
Thank you. So maybe a simple question. So how does the workflow look like? You basically write the Go code, the whole pipeline, and then in your existing CI, you have it as a single step that is executed, and all the logic is inside that single step. Or
Yeah. You just run that. You don't see that. I will try reshare screen. Sorry. This one. Sorry. I oh we lost connection, but not here. Oh, okay. That I lost. Yeah. Yeah. For example, here is that pull request that I mentioned, and you just use mage that you go and run this command, mage go in your CI, and that's all. Yeah, mage is something as makefile for Go, and we will have talk about it next meetup. Just announcement, but this is a very simple implementation. You can see that there is project that has some CLI and some Node.js web server, and I just add a build file that usually you have definitions what have to be built, that using some common library Dagger utils that is very simple abstraction for that build. You can see there is just that we use Golang latest image, that we use this directory that we mounted, we use GoR, GoOS, and we just running go build command with this output, yeah. And that's always all, and there is just that mage file that just connect to Dagger, run that build file that we see and export the context, and that's all. Yeah, it's very simple, and you can see that it works. And if I have here, give me a second, I will try. We can see here, yeah, we can see. I will. You can see that that works very simple. You run it, you build it, and you can. That's the simple example that I mentioned, and you run it, and you see how all is already cached. That it's very fast to that we download Golang image, and now we creating architecture repositories for every architecture and version, and we building all that builds for that specific versions, and that will be done. Yeah, it's very fast, and all that layer is cached, and it's very simple to do it, and it's easy to debug, and you see all the steps.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.